There's a 4 blind men and an elephant problem when arguing against intersectional lunacy. That's a good way of putting it. And I seem to be arguing with each of them over different aspects of the movement. Is there a good way to unify and help them see the whole animal? Oh, that's a good question. One of the things that I tend to do is going to the source material, which is why I was quoting from the actual Black Lives Matter page today. And it's changing. It used to have some differently egregious stuff that's gone now, but pointing out what is actually there and the inconsistencies within it is hard to totally evade. If the people that you're talking with are in any way good faith, it's hard to totally evade. That's an incomplete answer, though, by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is we all swim upstream to greater and lesser effect because the people that we are talking to are actively resisting comprehension. If they were even a little bit inclined to comprehend, which they've been trained out of by all of these Kafka traps, they would see it because it's obvious.
Yeah.
They're pulling down statues of whom, right? They're vandalizing Stevie Ray Vaughan statues in Austin. That doesn't sound very reasonable to me. George Washington, really? Yeah, okay, I'm aware that he was a slave owner, but, he also was an important force and, far-sighted for his era.
But that use of the word "but" in that last sentence is what makes you a racist.
Right. But
I know he was a slave owner, but...
Right. But I do know he was a slave owner, but, I mean, Conrad Lorenz, an important person in our field.
Animal behavior?
Yeah. He was a member of the Nazi Party, right? Am I going to pretend?
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah. Well, he regretted it later in his life, but it's certainly a fact.
Yeah.
And George Washington was not a fan of
Louis
slavery.
Agassiz, the first director of the museum at Harvard, was, I think, a bigot and an anti-Semite.
Yep. And R.A. Fisher was an anti-Semite. Here's the crazy one. Lindbergh thought we should support Hitler, and that does not invalidate his crossing of the Atlantic. Right? So anyway, history is complex, and the idea that you're going to pull down these statues, why are you pulling down the statues? Because it shows that you can. It's power, period.
Yeah, it feels good in the moment.
That's
You've been
all it is.
Locked down for 3 months, and this feels empowering.
Yeah.
And you can't go to bars.
Well, and it proves what this thing is. If you can pull down a statue of George Washington on video and not go to jail, right? What have you just shown? You've shown your boss. We get it.